Hey everyone, it's Chainsaw Gears 12 here, and I have a special video for you guys today. It's not really that special, but it's an interesting topic, and I'm actually kind of glad that I'm bringing you this video because it's a really good discussion piece. A lot of people, I hope, will comment down below. But one little quick thing before I actually jump off into the video. This is the last time you're going to see the beard, because as soon as I end this video, I'm going to go shave all of it, and I'm not going to record that. But the next time you guys see me, I will not have any facial hair, and it might freak you guys out, so just forewarning, just letting you guys know. Anyway, so back to the topic that's above. Should Death Magnetic be considered a classic Metallica album? The reason why I'm bringing this up is this. If you're a pretty good Metallica fan, like you love Metallica enough to check out their tour dates, stuff like that, watch a lot of their live performances on YouTube or whatever, then you know of their website and you know of their thing that's on their website called the message board, where people go and they can post stuff about anything Metallica, Metallica on tour, Death Magnetic, the most recent album. You can like go and post stuff about that, polling stuff where they like poll like what's the best intro into a Metallica live set? Is it Creeping Death or Hit the Lights, or is it That Was Just Your Life? I mean, stuff like that. There was a topic posted there talking about, should Death Magnetic be considered a classic Metallica album? Has a lot of elements of the older stuff, and it just seems like that it would be considered a classic. But my whole thing is it too soon to consider Death Magnetic to be a classic Metallica album? My first impression is yes, that it's too soon to consider it a classic, because people consider the classic Metallica being Kill 'Em All, Ride the Lightning Master, Justice, and some say the Black Album. But I think the Black Album got their stardom and rose them up and put them on that high pedestal up there. But I feel like the first four albums, the first four thrash element type albums that were just there, the first four Kill 'Em All to Justice, are classic Metallica albums. Now, the Black Album's on a whole different thing. I don't consider it a classic, but it is an amazing album. Don't get me wrong. But the classic Metallica is the first four albums, in my opinion. But to think of Death Magnetic as a classic album to Metallica, it's too soon to tell. When will we know? It's hard to say. My whole thing is that it's only been out since 2008. That's the only reason why I'm saying it's too soon. If Death Magnetic was released back in Saint Anger era, instead of Saint Anger we got Death Magnetic instead, then maybe it would be thrown into the category because it has a lot of thrash moments. And now, of course, we know that Death Magnetic has a lot of those load and reload, those more melodic type stuff, and not your typical classic Metallica thrash. It has the elements, but it's not 100% like the old Metallica. It's got the newer Metallica with older stuff mixed in together, and that's what Death Magnetic is. So the question is, do you guys think that Death Magnetic should be a classic album? That is the thing. Because I feel like, once again, back to my own thing, is that it's too soon to tell. But I will say this. Death Magnetic has the potential to be considered a classic album. Later down the road, when Metallica retire, I think Death Magnetic, at that point, when they decide to retire within 10 to 15 years, which I do not want to think about that. Don't get me started on that. That's a whole different separate video talking about how they should go. But maybe down the road, once they retire and they stop making music, I think Death Magnetic will be thrown into that category of classic Metallica. Same thing for the Load and Reload. Now, I'm not saying Load and Reload would be considered classic. I'm saying I think Load and Reload would be more accepted by the fans once Metallica stops writing music and once they're completely done making new songs and new music and all that. But to the Death Magnetic part, I feel like after they retire, it will go into the classic album, binge. It would be there. But it just has those moments. So I'm thinking that's why people consider Death Magnetic. They're like, well, maybe it is, maybe it's not. Because on the message board, a lot of people were going back and forth saying, well, Death Magnetic, yeah, it has its moments, but it's not a classic Metallica album. It's not classic enough. It's not that, it's not enough classic Metallica. It's not that early thrash. There's not enough in there to consider it a classic album. Of course, people counter-argue that and say, well, it has the elements of the classic Metallica, but then it's got also the elements of the newer Metallica, and they threw it in together, and it fits well. And I will agree, it does fit well. The mixing of what they did on that album, not production quality mixing, the mixing of old and new Metallica together to make Death Magnetic what it is a great mixture. Now, to someone else, maybe not, but to me, I feel like that it is. So, my verdict for this question, should Death Magnetic be considered a classic Metallica album? My answer is, when they retire and stop making music, it will finally come from its little spot and be thrown over to the classic Metallica, and then we'll be set. Now, for talking about Load and Reload Saint Anger, that's a whole different video. But if you guys like this whole thing of talking about, you know, should albums be considered classic, or, you know, just like placing an album, like where it would go in the discography, or like what things, comment down below and let me know. But basically, you guys can do that later. Probably on another video. I might talk about, you know, where Saint Anger should go or something like that. But on this topic, you guys are going to comment down below and let me know personally, do you think Death Magnetic should be right now, or should it be ever, or whenever? Do you think Death Magnetic should be considered a classic album? You don't have to say right now. You can say, like my old opinion is, later down the road when they retire. Or you can say, maybe in a couple more years. Give it a few more years and maybe it will be. But you comment down below and you let me know. Thank you guys for watching. Bye, beard. Anyway, guys, so thank you guys for watching again, and I'll see you guys soon with no beard.